big hand for DII, who provided the food for us this evening. It's got a new name now, but it's too hard to remember. Everybody knows DII. Anybody else care to say a few words on behalf of Rick and Linda? Sure, come on up here. Doug Harkey, he's got something he wants to program.
I've got to use a mic, I guess. In my days of a faculty member lecturing large classes, we didn't have any sound systems, and we learned to talk loud. So I'll have to talk normal with the mic rather than talk loud with the mic and drive the rest of you out of here. I had the very good fortune of working closely with Rick and Linda for many years on the Toy Tractor Times. One of the pleasures of the hobby of farm toy collecting is people like Rick and Linda. Sometime in the mid-1980s, I was at a show and I had already subscribed to Toy Tractor Times, and I met this man who ran the magazine, and I volunteered that maybe I might like to share some of my knowledge of toy tractors, even though I don't know. Didn't think I knew as much as Ray Curley or Chuck Burkhold or Eldon Trum, but I could still maybe try. And so I volunteered articles, and Rick graciously accepted the articles. And in fact, he even accepted an article from my son Doug Jr., who had a writing assignment Doug was an engineer at Purdue, and in his writing class you had to write something and you got an extra high grade if you got it published somewhere. And Rick was kind enough to publish one of Doug Jr.'s pieces. The only downside, of course, it was on John Deere's. As you know, I have a long history of harassing #1, the John Deere people. And, but I came very much to appreciate Rick and Linda and what they mean to the hobby. Eldon put it very well. They're there, they're supportive, they're helpful, and they're just benefit the hobby in many different ways. And after I started the Geneseo show in '86, I think we were in operation a couple of years, and Rick suggested, said, Doug, I'd really like to come to upstate New York and see what farm toy collecting is all about, and maybe we can promote our magazine. And I was very honored to have somebody from the center of farm toy collecting in the Midwest to come out to upstate New York, and Rick and Linda were just the best. People talked about them for a long time, what they added to the show. And I noticed that Rick and Linda mentioned that we picked them up at the airport and put them up at our house. They became just like part of our family. In fact, they were very tolerant when they had a Sunday afternoon flight out of Buffalo one time, and we were off to church in the morning. And even though they are good Lutherans, like many Germans or Scandinavians are, or of course in this area, many of the Germans are Catholic, we dragged them off to our Methodist church. And they were such great people, and they were just an asset to the hobby, and that's why I think they are so deserving of this award to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. One of their other early writers, who was also from the East, I don't want to sound like I'm representing the eastern part of the country in the hobby, but we do our share, don't we, Jason?
That's right.
Jason grew up about 40 miles from Geneseo and from me. But Wayne Cooper, who is from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, who couldn't be here today, wrote this letter and asked it to be read and to share with Rick and Linda. And as you know, Wayne was one of the early writers for Toy Tractor Times. He said, "Hello, Rick and Linda. Congratulations on your 2011 induction to the Toy Farmers Hall of Fame. If someone teases you a bit, just smile. Thinking back, I realize we met through our attendance at the Lafayette, Indiana toy shows. This led to your asking me to be a contributing writer on pedal tractors for your Toy Tractor Times magazines. Some articles that were submitted were handwritten, while others were typed by my wife, Shirley. I tried to share my collecting and restoring experiences under the title Pedaling Around Pennsylvania. Did that for almost 20 years, and Rick used a lot of Wayne's pictures on his cover of the magazine. This exposure helped Wayne to connect with other pedal enthusiasts, and he says, thank you for including me. On one of your attendances to Charlie Barrett's show in Beaver Falls, you came to our home. You found time to visit the Northwestern Pennsylvania Steam and Old Equipment Showgrounds in Portersville, Pennsylvania. We added a side trip to Charlie Berg's Tractor Salvage Yard, which is known nationally, and I was fortunate to visit your home when son Greg, grandson Brandon, and I attended the Expo 2 Junior Show. I'm sorry to miss this special event. I hope to hear how things went. Keep in touch until we meet again. Know that my family and I are glad to call you friends. Best wishes today, Wayne Cooper. He's still pedaling around Pennsylvania. And Wayne has given us a copy of the first article that he submitted to Toy Tractor Times, and I want to present that to Rick and Linda.
Thanks, Doug. Does anybody else have a few words they want to say about Rick and Linda? Anybody in the group at all? If not, then I guess we'll present the award to them, Ray and Chuck. Time for you to go to work again. Rick and Linda, would you come up here, please?
Before I read this, earlier this evening, Ray Curley was telling me about he's got this cornfield at his place. It's got one stalk of corn. He had the nerve to invite my wife Barb to come to his
corn maze.
Corn maze.
We were going to waive the $5 fee. So she got the grant.
I got lost.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you rush.
The plaque that you see here by Rick and Ray, the inscription on it is as follows. Rick and Linda Larson, 2011 inductee. For nearly 20 years, Rick and Linda Larson published the Toy Tractor Times, a monthly magazine for farm toy collectors. For a family with 2 young children, it was quite a schedule, one that required hard work, long hours, and a real commitment in addition to their jobs in the medical field. Weekends meant road trips, attending farm toy shows, promoting the publication, meeting collectors, and keeping a close connection with the hobby. Linking together the chain of farm toy collectors was the motto for the publication that focused on collectors. What started in a basement in 1983 left an indelible mark on the hobby of farm toy collecting. Congratulations. Thank you.
This is yours.
Well, I guess the big question always is why do we collect farm toys? And I think it's because of all the memories that we have collecting, playing with the toys when you're growing up. My experiences were, I loved the little tin barns and the animals that went with the tin barns. Used to play with them time after time after time. I had a plastic M, really enjoyed that, plastic wagon that went with it. and the manure spreader and plow and all those good things when we were growing up. Memories of learning how to drive my dad's Oliver 60, his John Deere G, and his Super M Farmo. Disking, dragging, plowing, all those good things on the farm.
I was going to tell you, my part, on our farm by Lamont, just very close to here, I used to ride Al's Chalmers. So I did a little disking and a little chopping of the stalks and helped my dad with the Al's Chalmers.
After I graduated from the University of Iowa, I went to Mitchell County Memorial Hospital, and after working there for approximately 2 months, Lynn and I got married. She went back to school and became a nurse, and then both of us worked at the hospital for 35 years. She was the manager of the surgery department, and I was manager of the laboratory. Our daughter, she was born in 1977, and she went to school to become a nurse as well. And she's a nurse manager at Austin. Her husband, Arlie, he does heating and cooling. He's a technician in Austin. They have 3 children, Kyle, Jessica, Callie. My son, he was born in 1982, and he went to Iowa State University and got a degree in engineering, and he's a quality engineer at John Deere at Waterloo. We started the magazine in 1983. Charles was 1 year old, and Lori was 5. We enjoyed going to the toy shows, and Doug kind of stole my thunder because I was going to compliment him on the nice hospitality him and his wife afforded us when we came out to his show. We really appreciated that. It was a wonderful time. Also, when we went to Charlie Baird's show, Beaver Falls, he picked us up at the airport, took us to the show, and we stayed at his house for a whole day. He had a picnic for the collectors. So we really appreciate that too. Thanks a lot, Charlie.
Yeah, all the traveling that we did, we always ran into bad weather, and it was really great this year. We don't have any snow at the National, but we've had a few snow piles around the National time. One time when Charles was 1 year old, I had him and Rick had Lori, and we both split up and went to different shows, but I went to Sioux Falls through a snowstorm with him when he's 1 year old, but we made it. But the weather can really change a toy show.
I fondly remember too that the kids, they were real troopers when we go to the shows. We'd drive miles and miles and miles, and they just entertained themselves in the back seat. Never gave us any grief. It was always amazing because of all the traveling that we did. Also, my father-in-law, Merle, he'd go to toy shows with me from time to time, and the one I really remember going with him was we flew to Baltimore, Maryland, and then from there we were going to go to Dave Note's show, Paradise, Pennsylvania. And it was worth the trip just to see the enjoyment in his eyes, because that was the first and only time that he's flown an airplane. So those are really fond memories.
Yeah, it seems like every toy show you go to, there's probably a story to talk about when you're on your way home. It never fails, something happens. One time we were in St. Louis, and Lori got sick in the middle of the night, and so Rick stayed with Charles because he was still a little guy, and I took her out in the car to find a hospital in St. Louis. And then she did have strep throat, was on an antibiotic, and so on the way home, we had to find another hospital because she had an allergic reaction to the penicillin. Then one toy show we went to where we stayed at a motel that had an outside door, and 2 o'clock in the morning, I was woke up to knocking, and it was to the door next to us, and this guy was saying, Juanita, Juanita, are you there in there? And the guy that was in the room said, there's no Juanita here. You go next door. And I thought, oh my God. So sure enough, he came next door. Pound, 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 Juanita, Juanita. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to answer that door at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm probably going to be like a Juanita lookalike. You never know.
Are you sure that wasn't Barney Fife? No, he had the hots for Wanda.
Juanita, yeah, could have been. I hope he found her.
We'd like to thank the contributing writers, too. If it wasn't for them, our magazine would not have been a success. They were very, very valuable, and we really appreciate what they did for us. Also, a big thanks to the manufacturers of our Toy Tractor Times anniversary tractors, Pioneer Collectibles, Speccast, and the Earl Company. We had a wonderful relationship with all those companies, and they did us a really nice job, and I thank them for that. Also, of course, important would be the subscribers as well, because if they want to subscribe, there wouldn't be no magazine. And then also, we had a lady work for us in the office. She worked part-time. Her name was Julie Jones, and we really appreciate her, the input that she did and helped us when we needed her. Also, thanks to Jason Hassard for taking over the magazine and continuing the tradition of the Toy Tractor Times. We appreciate that.
And with the help of our kids, we put together a slideshow. Arlie and Lori and Charles, they helped us put this all together. It's a thank you to our contributing writers and kind of a scrapbook of pictures from our magazine. And we'd like to show that to you now.
And we want to thank you for this wonderful honor tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Can you cut the lights, Ellen, Amanda?
Thank you.